Hey guys, Roman Reaper here. So I'm just walking down to the cinema now, as you can see, heading out to see Transformers: Rise of the Beasts. I am looking forward to this. I grew up loving Transformers, so naturally I'm very excited for this one, especially since it's incorporated Beast Wars. So at this point I know what I'm in for with Transformers. Just a fun sort of switch your brain off kind of action blockbuster where robots turn into cars and animals in this one. So plenty of fun to look forward to, and especially given the recent buzz of an insane out of left field twist at the end of this one. So yeah, not gonna take too much longer. I'm gonna head in the cinema, get my seat, and watch The Rise of the Beasts. So yeah, I've got my popcorn here and blue fruit and Fanta, ready to watch the Autobots roll out. So yeah, just back from seeing Rise of the Beasts. As I mentioned earlier, I grew up loving Transformers, so naturally I was really looking forward to this, especially because it was bringing Beast Wars into live action. I'm also curious as to how this would turn out because, of course, this is the second film of the rebooted continuity, so it's not connected to the Michael Bay films, although he is a producer. Rather, it's connected to Bumblebee. So it'd be interesting to see if it keeps the franchise on a good track, after a decade of, quality writing. But does it? Let's find out. So the film sees Unicron, the all-powerful planet-eating Transformer, send his top minion, Scourge, to look for the Transwarp Key, a powerful device which allows for the transportation between energon-rich planets. When half of this key turns up in a New York museum, former soldier Noah and museum intern Elena team up with the Autobots and the Maximals to find the other half of the key before Scourge can get to it and bring Unicron to Earth to devour the planet. So, that plot synopsis there, this is a big, potentially world-ending stakes level plot. You would be probably forgiven for initially thinking that this would end up being like the usual overbloated big scale messes of the Bay films, but actually this definitely feels like it has taken a page more out of Bumblebee's book. Obviously it's not as good, but I actually did quite enjoy this film. I was pleasantly satisfied and I was very entertained. For one, the human element is a lot stronger here than in the Bay films. Rather than the humans being fodder to just run around in the battle and shout at Optimus, they actually feel like they have been implemented organically into the narrative and actually do have things to do in the midst of the big Transformer set pieces. And it helps as well. There's some surprisingly strong character development. Like, I really liked our main character Noah, his arc of him caring for his brother Chris, who is ill. And I also liked the female lead Elena, the way she was trying to live up to her dad and make him proud. And Anthony Ramos and Dominique Fishback are both give really good performances. There's even some pretty good character development given to the Transformers as well. Obviously, most of them are there basically to round out numbers, but some of them actually do have some pretty solid arcs. Like, I quite like Prime's arc of him initially being resentful towards humans and coming to accept them, and and team up with them. And I also really enjoyed Mirage and his bond with Noah. And I even liked the Maximals and how, no matter the cost, they are fighting to, protect themselves and protect the world because they don't want to lose a second planet. And it's this surprisingly rich character work which, gives the action a kind of like weight to it because you're invested in the characters. It means that, you care what goes on. You want the characters to come out alive. And and even there are some pretty good character moments. It fits into the big set pieces, even in the final battle. Again, it's obviously not quite as deep as Bumblebee in regards to this character work, but still, it is pretty solid. Oh, and yeah, the action does deliver. There's some very fun set pieces too. There's a very fun set piece early on involving Mirage helping Noah evade the police, and it makes some pretty fun use of his abilities. And there's a very entertaining set piece in Peru with the Autobots and Air Razor, one of the Maximals, teaming up to find the other half of the key and fight off Scourge. And while, yes, the final act does become the usual sort of blockbuster final battle, where it's the characters, fighting the grey army of villains in a vast grey wasteland. As I said earlier, it's kept entertaining through some fun little character beats and little moments that do make you smile. And also to the film's credit, it is very funny. I was not expecting. There are some jokes here that actually legit made me laugh. There's a pretty funny one involving Noah starting to panic about carrying out a heist early on, and his partner says, "Man, you're in now. You should have known this when I gave you a Twizzler." Yeah, that's how you know it's serious business. By the way, if someone offers you a Twizzler. And there's also a very funny joke with Mirage involving work friends. Oh yeah, Mirage also does have other pretty funny jokes as well because he's voiced by Pete Davidson. I was expecting him to just irritate me, but Pete Davidson actually legit made me laugh here. And there's also a pretty funny joke about robot racism as well. Well, at least they're acknowledging where they came from. Obviously, the film is not perfect. I will admit, for all the fun action and the humor and the character moments, plot wise, it definitely does feel a little bit like, the usual sort of video game level plotting you'd expect from most blockbusters of this kind, where it's like, okay, we gotta go here and get this thing, and, which will obviously help to do that thing later on, but it doesn't feel like it's just, going go, 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 just non stop. It does allow you to take a breather, obviously, because of the well developed characters. I will admit, it does kind of take a little bit to find its footing because this kind of plotting with an exposition dump narration that establishes the stakes and some of the key players, mainly the Maximals. But once we arrive in Brooklyn, the film really gets going, and I really did enjoy it. During the final battle, there's some kinda obvious green screen, where the first two acts had some pretty good cinematography, especially in the middle portion in Peru, obviously making use of those natural surroundings. So to see it kind of, come to obvious sound stages is a bit of a bummer, but it doesn't look as bad as, some of Marvel's recent visual wonders. And there's some kind of abrupt edits in places. But these issues aside, I did enjoy the film. I had a pretty good time watching, and if you're a fan of Transformers, you will enjoy this. And yeah, the the twist at the end as well, legit comes so out of left field. It is absolutely nuts, and I can't wait to see them build on it further because there is no way they're not going to. And yeah, Transformers: Rise of the Beast. I enjoyed it. I have my issues with it, but overall, it's a pretty fun summer blockbuster. There are far worse options, and this is absolutely one of the better Transformers films. Overall, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. So, yeah, let me know down in the comments. Have you seen Rise of the Beasts? What do you think of it? What's your favorite Transformers film? Would you like to see them build on that ending? And what Transformers would you like to see in future films that haven't necessarily been touched in previous films? Let me know all that down in the comments. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button if you enjoyed. Don't forget the subscribe button if you're new. And don't forget to turn on post notifications so you don't miss an upload.